Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. My name is Anna, for those of you who didn't know that. And today I am doing my April wrap-up. So I have my water here because I have like 15 books to talk about. So let's just get into it and talk about what I read, if I completed my owls, and yeah, let's see how it all went. So I will talk about them in the order that I read them, and I will talk if they were for an owl, because I did read some books that weren't on my owl's TBR. And I will also talk about what they completed in my bookopoly. So the first book I read was Heartstopper Volume 2, and this one completed my Ancient Runes and also my graphic novel / manga. So I gave these 5 out of 5 stars. I really enjoyed it. So Heartstopper is about Nick and Charlie. Charlie is gay, and when Nick befriends Charlie, he thinks that he is straight. However, when he gets close to Charlie, he is starting to question his sexuality. So I really love this. It's super cute graphic novel, and I definitely am recommending this to anyone. So I read the first one and the second one. Both have been 5 stars, so I can't wait to continue on with the third one. And it's really easy read. The drawings are super simple. I read this in like 30 minutes, and it is like 300 pages. So yeah, it's really good, and definitely read it. The next book I finished was Laura Dean Keeps Breaking Up With Me by Mariko Tamaki and Rosemary Valero O'Connell, and I gave this 3 stars. So this one didn't complete anything. It was for Chloe's Patreon book pick of the month, and basically this is about Freddie, and Freddie is together with Laura Dean. I keep on calling her Laura Jean, but it's Laura Dean. So Laura Dean keeps on breaking up with Freddie. So Freddie gets advice from this column from a woman, and basically now she must choose what she is going to do, who she is going to listen to, because Freddie's heart breaks more and more for each time. So this one has beautiful illustrations, I have to say. However, I just didn't connect with this book. I think that I kind of didn't like the characters in this, and I know that you aren't supposed to like Laura Dean. However, I didn't connect with them, but I will definitely recommend this to others. It's a super good graphic novel, but I just didn't connect with it the way that I think a lot of people will. So the next book is Mockingjay, and this one completed my herbology for my owls and my Goodreads winner choice. So I didn't change my rating. It's still a 5 star because I read these for so long ago. So yeah, basically this is the third book in the Hunger Games trilogy, and we are seeing how everything ends. So basically the Hunger Games is about Katniss Everdeen, and she comes from the poorest of the 12 districts. So she lives in the District 12, and basically many years ago there was a rebellion, and basically they were defeated, and the capital decided that to remind them of this war, they will have to reap one girl and one boy from each district who will go to the capital and be trained, and later on go into arena where only one will survive. So yeah, I really enjoy this book. I know a lot of people doesn't like this last book. However, this book really makes me kind of see why Katniss chooses as she does, because she has her reasons. And I think that I see those reasons because, yeah, basically perspectives changed in this. So the next one is Saga Volume 1, and I gave this 5 stars. So this one is for my potions, for my owls. So I didn't have this on my Bookapoli TBR, so. But Saga is about these two people. They are from kind of rivaling worlds, but they find each other and they have a baby. And now they have both their planets after them. So they have to survive and take care of their baby. I loved this. It was super, super cute. And yeah, this is an adult graphic novel. And the art is also stunning in this one. This one, it took me so short to read, and can't wait to continue on with this. So the next book I read was The Bat Bayou, and this one completed my defense against the dark arts, and for my owls and for my Bookapoli, it was a mystery or a thriller. So I gave this 2.5 stars. I think this is the first one in the Harihura series, and this is definitely the weakest one. Everyone says so. So basically, in this one we are following Harihura, and he is a Norwegian police detective. And when there is a murder in Sydney, he is flown down there to help the police department in Sydney to figure out who the killer is. However, he is very disguised, so the only thing they have to kind of navigate is a weak echo. So I have tried to read this. This is my 3rd time, and I finally got through it, and it's okay. It's not the best book I think I have read ever, but it wasn't horrible. But I don't think this series is for everyone. Basically, what is with these, which is why most like series in this genre, is that you don't have to read them in order. However, if you don't, you might have some references of things that happened before in like earlier books in another book. So I know my sister has told me a little bit about this, so I know that it is some references in later ones. So yeah. The next book I read was Welcome to the Dark Side by Gianna Darling, and for my owls, it completed Muggle Studies, and for my Bookapoli, it was a contemporary. So this is an age gap romance between Lou and Seuss. So basically, Lou has always been this, or Lulu has always been this good girl. Then she got cancer twice. And basically she figures out that she wants to change her life, and she seeks up the one man that saved her all these years ago. It's like 10 years ago or something that he saved her. So she's 17 now, and she makes a deal with Zeus Garrow. She doesn't know that he is the president of the Fallen MC. And basically, when you make a deal with someone that is worse than the devil, there is no going back. So this is an age gap. It's like, I think, 19 years between them, so it's a lot. So if you're not comfortable with this, I wouldn't recommend it. But if you feel like this could be something for you, then go for it. I know that I really enjoy this. I like a good age gap romance. In my family there has been a lot of age gaps, so I kind of have grown, I almost said, immune to it, so yeah. But I know not all people are comfortable with it. However, in the states she lives in, they can legally date, just so you know that. So the next book I read was Dark Lover by J.R. Ward. And this one completed my Bookopoly TBR with a Goodreads winner. So I gave these 4 stars. I liked it. It wasn't my favorite, but people say that the first one is the weakest one. So basically we are following Ralph, and he is the only living, like, full-on vampire. The purebred vampire. And basically when one of his closest allies dies, he decides to do what he wished, and that is to take care of his daughter, this dad's vampire's daughter. So he goes there, and basically he falls in love with Beth, and that's the story. So there was a few things that bugged me in this, so I just couldn't give it 5 stars. I really did enjoy it, so I am going to continue on. 4 stars is very good. There was a few things that bugged me, and that is the reason I just can't give it 5 stars. The next book I read was Madhouse by Miguel Estrada, and I gave it 3 stars. This one completed my divination prompt for my owls, and also on my Bookopoly TBR it was randomize your TBR. So 3 stars. This basically is about this boy, and he hears that his parents might get a divorce, so he decides to run off in the middle of the night, and then he is picked up by this woman who kidnaps him and takes him to her home. And now he has to escape from this madhouse. So yeah, I enjoyed it. It wasn't anything scary, to be honest, and I kind of saw how everything would end. So the next I read was Soul and Diana by Jade Jones. And this one completed my astronomy prompt for my owls, and also my chance card for my Bookopoly. So I gave this 3 stars. I enjoyed it. It wasn't like the best I have read. So basically we are following Soul and Diana. And Soul is this cartel leader or something in those lines, and Diana is his fiance. However, things kind of is on thin ice because Soul is out half the night and Diana is home with their son. And Diana usually can smell that he smells other women, so she is super jealous. So this book I just didn't connect with either. It was just, it was an okay book, but yeah, I don't think it was for me. The next book I read was Sinneth by Sasha Ellsberg and Lindsay Cummings. And this one completed my chance for my Bookopoly. So, Sinneth is about Andy. Basically, she leads this crew of, I almost said space pirates, on this starship. However, her past catches up with her, and now she's on a different mission with one of her known for the past. So I found it interesting. It wasn't the best book I have read. However, I will continue on because I am intrigued, even though I only give this 3 stars. I thought it was okay. It was just some aspects that I didn't enjoy that much, but it was intriguing. So, and sometimes I can see now why all these different all these different types of different POVs was there, but it just, yeah, I was just a little confused sometimes. The next I read was House of Earth and Blood. And this one completed my Care of Magical Creatures for my owls, and also my fantasy prompts for my Bookopoly TBR. So this book we are following Bryce, and basically she lives in Crescent City, and that is kind of this city where all these different types of people live, like vampires, shifters, and fae, and yeah, all these different types. And basically she's this party girl when the book starts, and something happens, and yeah, I don't know how much to tell you. It's a long book, however, yeah. I gave this 5 out of 5 stars. I loved it. And basically, if you don't like Sarah J. Maas, you won't like this book because it's very Sarah J. Maas. But yeah, I loved Bryce. She was super sarcastic and a lot like that, and I loved it. And I loved Hunt, and yeah, I just really loved this book. So I can't wait to continue on when the next book is out, like hopefully next year. And then I finished The Way of Kings by Brandon Sanderson, and this one completed my arithmancy and my community shelf highest rated prompt for my Bookopoly. So I gave this 5 out of 5 stars. I so loved it. I don't know how to explain this beast of a book. we are following all these different types of people, and they all are in different they are all in these different places in life. And basically, uh, yeah, we are just following on their daily life, I almost said. So basically, I really like this book. It is very slow, I have to say. It's slow until you kind of get into the book and things start. And I think I I think the next book will be like that too. You kind of have a slow start until things starts to happen. And I think that Brother Sanderson, at least this book, builds up until something really exciting happens, and then you can't stop. So I loved this book. Two of the characters have now meeting, so I am guessing that other people will get together in the end. That is at least what I am thinking. So can't wait to continue on with this. Maybe it will be next month, just so everyone knows that. But I don't know. I have to see on that. The next book I finished was Restore Me by Tahara Mafi, and this one was for my charms prompt for my owls, and then a sci-fi for my couple. So I gave this 5 stars. I loved it. This is the 4th book in the Shatter Me series, and in the Shatter Me series we are following Juliet, and she has been in this asylum for almost a year when the re-establishment figures out that she will be a great tool for their war. However, Juliet, she has other plans. So I am in love with this series. I find them really easy to read. I can fast read like 400 pages in a day, which I never do. But yeah, so I am so low. I hope the 2 other books keeps it up. And then I read The Last Wish by Andrzej Sapkowski, and I gave these 3 stars. So this one was for my History of Magic for my owls, and that was it. So yeah, 3 stars. This is the first book you need to read to get into the Witcher series. So this book, we meet Geralt, and it's a collection of short stories, and I'm not a fan of short stories. I don't think I ever will be. Maybe I find something one day, but yeah. I found it interesting. I feel like I don't get to know the characters well enough when there isn't like these full-on story. So yeah. And then the last book I read was New Moon by Stephanie Myers, and this one was for my Transfiguration for my owls, and then a library book for my book couple. So I listened to this one on audio because my library is closed. So I found it on there. So this is the 2nd book in the Twilight Saga, and I give it 3 stars. It was okay, actually. I think I actually liked it better than Twilight. I find the characters more interesting. So that is something. So in Twilight we are following Bella, and she moves to Forks to spend some time with her father. And there she meets Edward, and she is attracted to him, and she soon figures out that he is a vampire. And then her whole life changes. So, yeah, I enjoy the book. The characters I find interesting. It's not like the best book I think I have read. It's like a low 3. But yeah, I think this one is a little bit better than Twilight. I have to see how I feel about this whole experience of reading these books at 22. Because there is a lot of, yeah, I feel like I have read a lot of things like this that are better, and yeah. But I mean, it's like it's fun because, yeah, it's a fun book, I have to say. I do tend to laugh a lot from it. So, yeah, that was all the books I read in April. So, yeah, it was a good reading month. Like 4 books, over 500 pages, which is amazing. And yeah, that was it for this video. If you want to see more videos from me, I post new videos every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. And I will link all my social media down below. And I hope I see you next time. Bye!